This is On the Ground, Massive Explosion Rocks Northern Tehran by France 24 English. So, I sometimes, I don't very often go over all of the, the military operations that we're doing. Sorry, man. Ooh. Doing against Iran because a lot of times, they're very war crimey and make me pretty sad. But I don't know. I figure I'll go over this one here. We'll see. We'll see what these latest strikes look like. Also, before I get into this, though, I did see an update that says one crew member was rescued apparently from that F-15 downing. So I guess that's good. And but one crew member is still it says still alive in Iran. So that's not good. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and watch this video.
Can cross now to Tehran and speak to our correspondent, Reza Saya. So, Reza, I understand some loud explosions have been heard near the capital. How have you been, and what more can you tell us about those strikes?
Yeah, just about an hour ago, a massive explosion near the Velenjak neighborhood in northern Tehran. The explosion was so strong, we felt it here, 15 kilometers away. We're working to confirm the target of that bombing. Earlier today, state media reporting that Iranian air defense system.
Yeah, they're hitting a lot of, I've heard a lot of schools lately, or like universities. And then obviously just the normal atrocities of targeting hospitals, targeting Red Crescent ambulances, targeting medical infrastructure, general civilian infrastructure. We're just doing the same old, the tried and true American playbook of trying to harm, mutilate, kill as many civilians as possible. That's just because we can't apparently fight an actual war against actual insurgents. Same with Israel. They can't fight an actual war against actual insurgents. So they resort to just killing as many civilians as possible because, hey, at least if you kill that many civilians, that target number keeps ticking on up, baby. That's progress. We're making progress. We're not in a quagmire. The number keep going up, everybody.
Shot down an American F-35 fighter jet over central Iran. State media showing pictures of what were purportedly the remains of the jet. No comments from Washington and no word on the whereabouts of the pilot. State media reports that a search is underway. In the meantime, more evidence that U.S. and Israeli airstrikes are going after non-military targets. You saw in that report earlier in the city of Karaj yesterday, back-to-back airstrikes hitting the longest bridge in the Middle East, 9 killed, more than 90 injured. After the bombing, U.S. President Donald Trump cheering the bombing.
Okay, so you hear those numbers, 9 killed and 90 injured. What if I said over and over again that if there are 100 people injured, there's going to be 10 killed on average? It's a 1-to-10 ratio. You'll notice that whenever America comes out with how many people are injured, or whenever these Gulf states come out with how many are injured, or Israel as well for how many are injured, the number that are killed is always significantly lower, than that 1-to-10 ratio. Usually it's like a 1-to-30 ratio or something, like 1-to-20, 1-to-30. This is accurate. If you hear and that's why I always say you can trust the Iranian, you can generally trust the Iranian reports more than you can the American and the Israelis, because they have less incentive to lie about these sorts of things. They want to present themselves as the victim of this aggression, but they also don't want to be if they lie, it'll eventually come out and then they will lose trustworthiness. It's the same with what happened with the Ministry of Health in Gaza, right? Where they have always been accurate in every conflict with Israel. The number of injured and killed or whatever has always been accurate. And then, but then they're claimed to be lying. But they're more accurate than the Israelis and stuff. So I don't know. Just that's why I would say generally you can trust Iran's numbers in these types of situations way more than America's.
Social media post. Other non-military targets hit in this conflict, civilian airports, hospitals, steel factories. And Tehran's Pasteur Institute, this was a 100-year-old medical research center established in partnership with France back in 1920. Today, Iran's foreign ministry condemned the bombing, saying there are clear violations of international law.
And Reza, Iran has also launched attacks at its neighbors, one of those targeting Kuwait.
Yeah, Iran has stated its position. It says, U.S. and Israeli forces attacked our industrial and economic infrastructure, and now we are doing the same. And that's clearly, why Iranian missiles are targeting industrial hubs.
But even when they do it, it's significantly Iran, I guess, understands that killing civilians does not give you any sort of strategic victory. It's something that I wish that America and Israel would learn. Killing civilians does not give any strategic victory. So they are only doing this as a deterrence measure for America. I don't think they even think that hitting civilian infrastructure is going to lead to any, strategic outcomes necessarily. I mean, maybe a little bit, I guess, because those places they're not set up for an asymmetric style, hunker down and take it until it's over, situation. So there might be some, strategic importance to that. But in general, I think that Iran feels that the most important thing they can do is take out the bases, take out the satellite, the geopositioning, stations and stuff, and hit as much military infrastructure as possible. And I think that that's generally what they're trying to do. But they will engage in tit for tat stuff as a measure of deterrence against America, to be if you hit us here, then we'll hit you there, sort of stuff. But
in Kuwait, Bahrain, and the Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Israel. And this is obviously a dangerous cycle of violence where the two sides are trying to punish one another while a lot of civilians are being impacted.
Now, Reza, a French-owned container ship has managed to transit the Strait of Hormuz. That's according to marine traffic vessel tracking data.
Guess who made a deal? Guess who made a deal? That's Macron, right? France president. Is it president or FM? I always forget. Macron, yeah. Macron must have hit up Khamenei on the side, dude. He was like, yo, bro, man, this shit's wild, dude. What you say, you let me through that strait, know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's what Macron was doing on the side.
And it appears...
And Iran's like, brother, I mean, I guess, as long as you don't materially support the American empire, I guess I can let one through. Man, that's crazy.
To be the first passage to marine traffic vessel tracking data, and it appears to be the first passage by a major European shipping group since March 1st, when Iranian attacks in the region reduced crossings through the strait to a trickle. So this ship from France's CMA CGM group, some ships that have passed have paid a toll. What more do we know about this particular crossing?
Tehran says moving forward, this is how things are going to work in the Strait of Hormuz. It's clear that Iran is taking military losses, but one major card it has gained, it's that chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz, which has impacted the global economy. Iran's position is, you attacked us, and now if you are allies with the enemy and you have ships that want to get through the Strait of Hormuz, you have to pay a fee, and here you have a French ship paying the fee. And again, Iran says moving forward, this is how it's going to be.
So I guess they paid a fee. I don't know if that's reporting from them or if they're just assuming or what, because I thought all countries who are seen as allying with America were not going to be allowed to pass at all. So that's why I'm saying I think on the side, Macron made assurances with them, hey, we're going to be completely neutral. We won't partake in some military effort to open it up or whatever. We're just going to be completely neutral. So you mind if we get some oil through there? And I bet at that point they were just sure, pay the $2 million and you can go through. But if you do, if you do end up going back on your word and aligning with America in their ambitions in the region militarily or whatever, then we reserve the right to stop allowing your ships to go through. I bet it was something like that if I had to guess. And we're going to start seeing a lot more of this, people, because there's nothing that they can do. If America can't open it up, then nobody can open it up. So we're about to see a lot more people. Keir Starmer, he's talking a lot of talk about some like mission of like they're going to send people over there to like once the war is over to secure it. Nah, brah, that ain't happening. You're going to negotiate with them, and then you will be allowed to get your oil through. And a part of that negotiation is going to be you must agree to not help or align with America at all in this conflict, or like in this region, or not follow American sanctions on us or something, right? Like you must pay in dollars or like in yuan or stuff that's outside of the Americans' control in terms of in terms of sanctions or whatever. Like I bet there's going to be a lot of that as well. So yeah,
clear leverage Iran has today, and that it can use potentially if any negotiations happen moving forward.
Reza, thank you so much for keeping us updated with the latest on what's been happening. That's France 24's correspondent in Tehran, Reza Sayed.
Yeah. I mean, Iran, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They planned this out. It's we don't get to see it very often from America, like in America. People actually planning, planning and executing the plan that they have had for like 30 or 40 years, right? Like we in America don't get to see that often. So it's crazy when like Iran actually does it and they're just like, yeah, this is what we're planning to do and this is what we're doing.